When thinking about a top 10 unorganized list of favorite games of all time, there's not many times where you would see a mobile game sitting nicely on that list. Dragalia Lost was a mobile gacha game that has touched my soul for the last 3 to 4 years that I played this game. You know, I'm pretty sure this is where my gacha addiction started. For those who don't know, Dragalia Lost is a partnership game between both Nintendo and Cygames. They created a baby that would last only just 4 years after its 4th year anniversary. Now, to show you how much that this game has had an impact on me, I mean, just look at my icon. This is this character. On my first week, I just summoned her with just a regular 10 pull, and I pulled her immediately, and I was like, a good 5-star, and the design's amazing. I'm strapped in. But it's not just her. All the characters are drawn so beautifully in Naoki Saito's style. It gives this game like a similar feel that everyone's like connected in a certain sense, but in a good way. I mean, even the NPCs look good. You really can't make this shit up. Villager Girl number 2, my beloved. And because of this, I bought the art book. Also, another thing that I like is that they had these little worm print things, which gave characters like little buffs and everything. But they just like spread them out to different artists to like make a little portrait on top of them. With all these artists, it felt like Cygame used the connections to like hit a soft spot for a lot of them, because they just kind of called them in there probably. Because we got a new art every single week, so they probably just called them in there, and then they were just doing it. They were like, oh yeah, this character actually fire. Look at this thing. Look, I'll mess with it. Also, I want to thank someone above that we don't gotta roll for these things anymore. Good lord. Genshin Mihoyo, I need you to get on that. I can see that shit with Star Rail. I can finally talk about the music. If there's something that people remember about this game, it's the art and the music. I will tell you that, because there is so many good tracks in here. Okay, so for the base game, right? It's made by an artist named Dalco. You might have known her. She's kind of like a big name over there. It's no big, but she not only put like a few songs into this game. This game is basically her album. Like, you have the home screen, a few events, literally the themes and some of the story parts have like leitmotifs and references to some of her real life music that you can just listen to. So if you need something sad and mysterious, you get something like this. But if you needed something like hyper and energetic, you get something like this. Even the fucking summoning animation. The summoning song is hers, is just another one of her songs. And they're all bangers. All of them. After chapter 11 of the story is the last time we get to hear a new Dalco track come out with the story, like something from her own album, which is a bit sad because she makes great music, so it was always nice to like hear like a new remix track that she had just like put onto a little story bit. But I probably can see the reason why her contract was not getting renewed was because all of her tracks get copyright striked. Like, this is probably the hardest hit due to the lack of word-of-mouth communication advertisements. Because of content is so hard to create with this game, because every single thing that you would do regarding with the music would just get slapped down by the company. Combine that with Nintendo barely marketing the game. But the way to balance this out is that they brought in artists from different parts of the music industry. So these are like well-known names, so you get to hear this new created OST that is not as copyrighted. And they came in and made banger after banger after banger. Amazing songs over here. I can't
べて真実とは限らないさねえ
And to further what they have, making their own type of music, they implemented these two characters that just kind of have their own song, like Lucreta. She's not only like the main singer for one of the events, but she also sings the ending theme, and they just have her listed as just as her character's name. And I think that's very like in-universe like tying. And I'm going to be so serious when I tell you guys I want you to listen to this OST, because there's just like playlists out here where they just play like random songs of the OST and they're all good. Like I can literally just what was the last event that I remember? The maid one. That one had a really good song, right? I'm being so serious. I could throw like just darts at a board and I could just find a banger right now. This OST does not miss. I'm being so real. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the story now. It's been a minute, but this story is slightly complicated, so I'm gonna start from the beginning in a very different way. Okay, a long time ago, dragon and humans they fought constantly. We then meet this alchemist girl, Ilya, who stumbles upon a lost soul and wishes to give it a body. Bad idea, but we get a cool character from it, and I respect that so much. But Ilya, being the kind-hearted person that she is, she wanted for a world where both dragons and humans work together. So, she met up with the dragon god Elysium to form a pact to be able to secure a world where everyone can live in peace, which then resulted in this.
Ilya?
何これ
Due to Mordecai seeing his creator get shot out of the fucking sky, he went a little insane, which I don't blame him. Look at this shit. He got sniped, man. Mordecai then turns into an other form called Morsayati, a being made with dark mana, and the mana kind of just consumes the world. Dragons and humans realizing this, they form together to beat Morsayati and seal him and Mordecai into the void. But by doing so, Ilya has to seal herself, because that pact that she has, not only does it give Dragon God extra power, but it also might just cause more misfortune on the world because of this. So she was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna disappear. Sorry, Mom. With Ilya gone, it was up to her adoptive fairy mom to take her place as Ilya by breaking off her own wings to make her seem human, and then using that guidance under Ilya's name to lead both humans and dragons into a place of cooperative peace for the future. Now we're in the main story, where Ilya and her mom's work did wonders, because now dragons and humans are best friends. We have Yudin, a prince who is the 7th heir to the throne in a long line of brothers and sisters. This story is about fighting back against Morsayati, who took over the father and then took over the sister in a mad chase to save Yudin's sister from the clutches of Morsayati. But I think the funniest thing about this part is just how funny like the siblings join with each other. Just as simple as, oh, you read how strong this guy is, right? We can't win. Stop being stupid. We need literal God over here to help us. But my goat fight backs anyway. Now this story is actually peak fiction, and if you're a fan of Gurren Lagann like I am, you know that the power of bonds goes crazy. This shit has twists, it has turns, it has characters that you hate, characters that you love. It goes into its past, it makes sure that you understand what's happening fully. And then when everything comes together, you're like, bro! But there's no real way for me to actually describe what's happening without going like, okay kids, gather around, time for the next chapter where Yudin finds out the truth of his birth and he has trauma from it. Oh, this shit kinda hurts. Maybe I'll make another video explaining it more, but right for now, I don't want to bore you too much, so this is what you're getting. Okay, but you can't have a story without the characters, and this story has a good wide variety of characters. It has all these amazing main and supporting characters, and all the characters have like their own roles to play. Like, even if they're not like fully into the story, they all got their own like little shine and their little story, so you get to know each and every character. And all the main characters get like their own little arcs. No one gets pushed to the side. And then you get a gala form. Gala can change from being like, oh, this character is now playable, to, oh, this character has gone through a new arc in the story, so we're giving him a whole new outfit. So these gala fits are very cool. They show their growth, because it's like they show a bit of their character and they show them off. So it's just like, oh. And then in the final part, you get to see them all line up like, my homies, my family, suit up. And they all just have their all gala forms. And it's so good, because it's just like, we're at the final area. We're at the pinnacle of it right now. We've gone so far, and I love it so much. And then, but don't get me started on my one of my favorite characters in this game, Not, right? Not is the fairy assistant. You know how Paimon is. She's basically like that. But here's the differences with that, right? Not isn't annoying. Not sits there one day and is like, guys, I'm so tired of being useless. I don't want to be a pain. I don't want to be a bother to you guys. And then she fucking levels up and then gets like a regular size fighting body, to fight with. And then she just starts swinging. And then she gets a bigger form. Like, Jesus Christ, girl, what the? And then she gets her own arcs. And then, oh my, that's my side MC right there.
Today's bonus. Have some skip tickets too. And coming tomorrow.
Oh, I never got to talk about the gameplay. Okay, so, have you heard of this hit MMORPG called Final Fantasy XIV?
The critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, if you have, this is way easier to explain, but if you haven't, I'll just explain it like this. There's a bunch of lines and arrows and stuff on the floor. Those circles, spaces, shapes, triangles, whatever you see, those are danger zones. Those are warnings. You stay away from them. If you see red, that means you could probably roll around with your iframes and like avoid the attack that way. Or you can like initiate a skill or a move to like start your animation and then give off other iframes that way, so you can just avoid the attack. But if you see purple, get out the way. You're not iframing your way out of this one, buddy. You're going to die. So it made for like unique gameplay of just like making sure that you look at the floor, look at your character, look at the enemy, make sure your teammates are okay. It was very fun for like raids and stuff like that, because you had to like manage everything. You couldn't just do auto, because if you did auto with that, the AI would make sure to dodge everything correctly, but it wouldn't do everything to its peak condition, so you couldn't just like auto everything. But when you did auto, oh my god, this game is so good with autoing. Oh my, you could just, like, all you had to do was just 3-star, like, something once. And then if you just had a bunch of tickets and, like, stamina potions, which you will get a lot. You will get a lot of stamina potions. You would just keep going back and forth with it. You can literally just go, like, yeah, play this one map 100 times. I know you can do it. And then it would just play it 100 times. It would just like sort of remember what you did, and it would just like remember the moveset, and it would just like kind of play with it, and then it would just be like, yeah, it would just farm 100 times for you. So I would just sit there playing another game while Dragalia Lost was in the background, getting a whole bunch of items and stuff, and it was just a great time. That's autoing at its finest, literally autoing at its finest. Okay, now I can talk about events. Like in normal gachas, you have the basic seasonal events like Christmas, maybe New Year's, summer, sometimes spring, Valentine's Day, you know the usual stuff. But it isn't a Psy Games game without a little crossover, you know? and with that little Nintendo bonus, we got a little more reach. So we have collabs like Mega Man, who wasn't anything too crazy, it was just a boss rush, but we did get really good music, and we did get Mr. Rock himself as a free unit with Rush as a transformation. This unit wasn't that good. In comparison to a lot of the other units, it's not that good, but he is nice. We then had a Monster Hunter event, which I think is cool because we had a raid battle against Vitalis. We fought using bomb barrels while using units from Dragalia dressed in Monster Hunter clothes. It was limited time units. It was cool to see and play nonetheless, and a lot of these characters look really good in these uniforms. We then had the Fire Emblem events, which was a collab with Fire Emblem Heroes. How do you still live? This collab was what we thought was going to be the annual collab with Nintendo, which was cool. You get to see the prince and princess of Fire Emblem Heroes, as well as the units from Fire Emblem games joining you. Some a little broken. I remember on the second year, we had a selection of Chrom, Peony, and Tiki. Don't get me wrong, like I showed earlier, Chrom is busted, and I love this dude. He got on my fire team immediately. It's just that at the time, I really needed a light and water unit for my team. These two units worked really well for team building, and they were limited time, so you had to go for it. I remember grinding missions, fights, whatever I could to get enough for a roll, and neither of them came home. You don't know the sadness unless you look at a 10 pull without the unit you want at 3 a.m. after 10 pulls like an hour earlier. That's a new level of sinking. But then for another event, we had the Princess Connect Redive event, like celebrating that Princess Connect got a remake, basically. This event was pretty good because we got Pickering herself. We got her. But the interesting about this is that we got Mao. You know Mao, one of the biggest voice actresses in the business. They got a song. She's singing a song in this. Which, in the background, you're hearing like the bass version of it, which is like the background of the bass version. But then, there's a raid of this in this event. And the guitar remix of this event goes crazy. Who remixed this? We then have a collab from a character you might have never heard before. He's kind of a small time person. It's Joker. He's from let's see. He's from Phantasy Star, Nier, Grand Blue, Love Live, Puzzles and Dragons, AFK Arena, Another Eden, SAO, Final Fantasy, Smash Ultimate, and Sonic Forces. So there's this meme going around where Joker would just go into a game and then just kill it. Like there's a meme that says, EOS after 1 year, EOS after 1 year. What the hell is he doing? At this point, it would probably be better if he just like stayed in his own game, if he just made his own gacha game. Bro, ain't no fucking way. I mean, but the good thing about the Phantom Thieves being in here is that now you can get like just random voice lines. Like if you ever wanted to hear Joker say Happy Halloween, it's just here.
It's Halloween. Trick or treat.
But speaking of voice acting, the voice acting is really good in this game. It's a shame that for the English side, it's not as prevalent because for the Japanese side, they have almost everything voiced, like the little cut-ins, the story scenes. For English, it's just like a slightly animated visual novel. But for the Japanese, basically everything's voiced, which that means I just played the whole story in Japanese, which is fine. I wish that they did more with English, because like a lot of these characters are just like they're playing the same character over and over again. But some of these people have just never played like another. This is like their big break in voice acting, and they kill it. Like a lot of these voices I love. I love Luca's voice. And the emotes. The emotes are funny. The emotes are so funny because I will always hear, "It's Luca time."
It's Luca
every single
time.
time when I hear the name Luca get brought up, I immediately think of this emote. It's become a problem. And also Knott's boom. That should. I mean, even Devin Mack, the GOAT over here, just straight up just made some other videos where he just got the other English voice actors and then just started to read the comics and then just started to give them actual voices. Like,
Wait.
you actually have to love what you're doing, though. You have to love the thing that you're doing to do this. Otherwise, this is going above and beyond. This is unnecessary above and beyond.
And Rover or something.
The hell?
Also, you can tell how much love went into this because, like, even the VAs released a video about them saying thank you to all the people who played the game. Like, Knott's VA hosted it and just was like, yeah, thank you guys. And it was really sweet.
Thank you for playing Dragalia Lost.
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 Hope to see you on the next adventure. Bye! Boom.
You know how people say that humans actually die twice? The first time is physical and the second time is when everyone forgets about you? I feel like that idea applies to this game as well. Every time that I open up my Twitter, I see new pieces of art on the timeline or people showcasing characters. Sometimes I see a few users making their own private servers and like modding like specific characters, whether these characters are like their favorites that need a new alt or maybe just whatever this is. I kind of respect it. I feel like there's still a chance for Dragalia 2 or a physical port with all the stories and events. Like, just take out side games, just take out Fire Emblem, and I think you'll be fine. I think we're fine after that. Well, maybe not Dragalia 2, but since, like, you know, the story concluded, but, you know, maybe like a follow-up or something. I play Xenoblade. You know the story doesn't end like that simple. You know that, right? I'll keep playing whatever game appears to be interesting, but nothing can really hook me like Dragalia Lost did. I feel like that's a really one-of-a-kind type game.
Brother.
Hey guys, thank you for watching to the end of the video. It is currently 9:31 p.m. on July 25th. I want it to be done by now, but a lot of things got in the way during summer and everything. This video, I wasn't expecting it to be like 30 minutes. There were so many remakes and rescripts and everything. Like, you can probably tell, like, some parts the mic sounds different. That's just because I recorded different parts in a different location. Like, I originally made the whole script and yelled it out and everything. But then the perfectionist part of my brain was like, no, that sounds awful. You need to say it again. And then I'm like, I'm not in the same place that I was when I originally made this script. I can't make it sound the same. And so, yeah, some parts just kind of sound like that, but if you made it to the end, I think you just kind of dealt with it, or you just didn't notice at all, and I just blew the cover, even though I would actually be insane if you did not know that. But yeah, thank you for wanting to see what type of content I've been cooking, and yeah, if anything Dragalia related gets released, I will be talking about it on this channel. And thank you, and tune in for whatever else I decide to do. Peace.